Do anything. Oh, well, we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 15 of the Rust Belt Boys podcast. You know, it's a good thing we're an independent show and not like sponsored by anything because we wouldn't have gotten to episode 15 if we were sponsored by someone. We would have gotten canceled by now.
If we were sponsored, we would have lost all our money.
Exactly. If this was like on the Daily Wire or something, we would not have made it to episode 15. But here we are, going strong. You have a great show.
Your avatar on the stream isn't loading again on the YouTube end.
Is it
Whatever.
not?
No.
Why not?
It's just appearing as the default. It's whatever. We don't need avatars.
No,
we
but
hate
I
avatars,
want to have
folks.
an avatar.
Anyways.
Like the movie.
Exactly.
Edit audio avatar. I have to. It's making me use the blurry picture of myself, and not the good quality one. This is so sad.
Does it? It doesn't like it, I don't think.
I don't know why. It's being cringe. Okay, anywho, we have a great show for you all tonight. And we went from 4 viewers to 1. So maybe we'll wait a couple minutes for a few people to join in. So while
Off
we're
to
waiting.
a great start already.
How was your day?
Well, I mean, I had school. School was off.
Oh, I thought you
as
didn't have
know.
school because of like the storm.
That's what I just said.
Oh, I thought you just said you did have school.
No, I said I said school was off today.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, yeah, no, that winter storm is pretty nasty, as you know.
I wish we got hit by a winter storm.
We've
We've gotten
it's
like no
coming
snow
down.
this year.
It's coming down really hard right now. Okay, I swear to God, if people take that out, that sounds wrong. I mean, we're supposed to get, I think, 2 feet of snow in total, like we could.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and also when my dad was snow blowing, the snow blower decided to shut off randomly. He got it to work again, so that's gonna be great because I'm gonna have to snow blow tomorrow. That's gonna be real fun, and I'm gonna have to snow blow on my birthday tomorrow. What a great day!
Why don't you just shovel like a real man? Snow
It's-
blowers are for the weak.
But I can't. Well, when the snow is all compact and impossible to move with a shovel. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, we don't. But using gas-powered things is manly. So your
That's
point?
true too. Yeah.
None of this electric crap. Like I've seen.
You
people
don't use
using
electric stuff.
There are
Shovel or
people-
use a like non-electric snow blower.
There are people who use like electric lawnmowers now, and it's like, you are just admitting that you have no balls at this point. Guys who drive electric cars have no masculinity. They have lost.
This
all
is
sense of
absolutely
themselves.
true. Many are
Like-
saying this.
I just don't get it. Like people who drive electric stuff, it's like you just go screw yourself. Seriously.
No, completely agree. So we have people in chat now, 3 viewers. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, if you will, of this stream. So first of all, the big news today, as you could probably tell by the title, is that former President Donald Trump visited East Palestine, Ohio. He had a pretty great entrance that we're going to pull up and show you guys, and then we're going to discuss why he did this, the effects of it all, and basically, yeah. So let's watch when he pulled up to a cheering crowd. It was very epic, I'm not going to lie. I was kind of worried that like no one would talk about this. It would be like kind of embarrassing, but it appears to have worked very well.
I was worried that nobody would show up.
Yeah, same. I was worried that he would just like arrive and like no one would care, but apparently people were very happy. So let's watch.
Then
when he first
again,
walked
it is
up.
it is a Trump plus 45 county, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, true.
Thank you, sir. Honor kids. Honor to meet you, sir.
God dang, like the entire town is there.
What do you make about Biden not showing up? You showing up before he did. Come on, Trump!
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. Hey, Trump, take a picture of my face. A picture? There he is.
I love how he's signing the MAGA.
This is probably a security nightmare.
Thank you.
I'm getting flashbacks to 2018 Bolsonaro in Brazil when he got stabbed because he was crowd surfing.
Thank you for not forgetting about us. Thank you, Don Jr. too.
My brother was like
God dang, that's a lot of people.
Okay, thank you, sir.
There's apparently a crowd that welcomes the like caravan of cars. Yeah, so that was his arrival in East Palestine.
You
And
know,
he also
it's
He also
it's
bought them He also bought a McDonald's for the firefighters.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and brought like thousands of dollars worth of Trump water, which is pretty epic. I'm not gonna lie.
Use myself. I could use some Trump water.
I know. I've actually never had the Trump water.
I don't think I've ever had it either. I've heard it's really good though. So I don't know.
Yeah. I heard it got they stopped making it after like 2010, but apparently not if he brought it. So I don't know what was going on with that.
I'm wondering if he had it like stockpiled, because water doesn't go bad. So I'm wondering if he just had a bunch of it in stockpiles.
Yeah.
Knowing him, he probably does, but
That's true. Yeah, I wonder what the margin's going to be in 2024 in East Palestine.
Not even just East Palestine, but the county itself, I feel like is going to
Yeah, Columbiana County.
Honestly, I feel like Columbiana County might swing at least 10 points to the right.
Honestly, yeah.
Like all I gotta say is like people are dooming about Trump's chances, and I know you've said you've kind of doomed a lot. Honestly, I don't see why people are dooming. Like if you look at the betting odds, Republicans are up in the betting odds, which the betting odds have predicted the election pretty much every time.
Yeah.
Like you look at the 2022 governor races, they were off there, which kind of can arouse suspicion, but we're not going to dive into that because I would never.
We like to be on YouTube.
I would never question integrity of anything.
No, never.
I mean, that's just anyways. But in all seriousness, like, I mean, if you combine Trump and DeSantis's odds, they're ahead of Biden by a ton in the betting odds, which I know you should go off of them, but they've been right. Historically, they have been correct.
Especially like really far out.
I honestly think Trump would win if the election was held. He's leading in the RCP average head to head with Biden.
Part of me is worried those are push polls to get Republicans contempt. Kind of like what happened with 2022.
Then again, I feel like 2020. I feel like 2022 was legit like an actual mistake and not intentional. I feel like that was just a mistake. Because 2022, you look at the polls that came out, they were reliable pollsters that screwed up. Like Trafalgar screwed up. Like Trafalgar screwed up big time in a lot of states. I don't know how. Like normally
Didn't they have Vermont like D+9 or something?
No, they had Washington as D+3.
They had Vermont D+9 or something.
I don't know.
I think they had Tudor Dixon winning in Michigan.
No, they didn't. No, Dixon never led a single poll from Trafalgar.
No, I swear she led the last one.
No, Whitmer was up by 6 in their last one.
Really?
It was either 6 or 4. I know they were on point in Pennsylvania, surprisingly.
What do you mean? Like, I'm looking at it right now. Dixon was up by 1 in Trafalgar's last poll.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I could have sworn Whitmer was up. I'm thinking maybe the one before. I don't know.
Yeah, the one before. The one before they had it as a tie. But yeah.
Oh, I know in Pennsylvania they predicted that. Mastriano would lose by like 9, which I mean that
was pretty accurate actually.
That was accurate. I remember when I saw that, I was like, "What? No way!" And then it happened, and I was like, "Oh, never mind." But getting back on topic, I mean, this does help Trump electorally, not even in just Ohio, but in the entire area.
Oh yeah, Western Pennsylvania, I think that'll help him a lot too. Which is an area he has to do very well in if he wants to win.
He already does do very well in that part of the state. But
yeah, but we need every single Republican in Western Pennsylvania to vote in 2024. And this is a good step in getting that to happen.
We need every Trumpocrat, everybody you can think of to vote red. I mean, like, this Wisconsin Supreme Court race, which we'll get into in a bit, I think is kind of the test of if this one dude's early voting pack will actually work.
Yeah.
This is the prime area to test it on because you have a lot of people in Wisconsin who don't know that there's a race going on, which, by the way, the results we saw, people should not be dooming about. That was actually a good result.
Let's just pull them up right now, actually. We'll get into that topic. So
yeah, diving into the Wisconsin Supreme Court race, nobody was expecting the conservative candidate to finish first. With all the vote splitting that was going on, nobody expected Daniel Kelly to finish first. No, nobody expected us to finish first, and we didn't. People were dooming about that. All the electa bros were like, "Oh, Daniel Kelly, why he didn't finish first?" And it's like, well, are you surprised? He's not going to. All the vote splitting that went on. Now, the only thing that worries me is the driftless. If you look at the results, the
turnout was horrible.
Then again, people were like, "Oh, the driftless area is turning blue," and I'm like, no, because nobody turned out. Like the votes, like one of those counties like that gave Trump like 10,000 votes only gave Kelly like 600,
Yeah, exactly.
which should not happen. I mean, that's if Vernon County is only turning out like 2,000 people,
Yeah, that's
1,000 people for Daniel Kelly, which voted for Johnson by almost 20. Like Vernon County was a safe R county in 2022.
Yeah, turnout was just really bad in the driftless.
Which I think is a common trend for candidates who are not Trump. I feel like that is a very common thing that we've been seeing.
I think if we can use mail-in ballots though, and kind of do ballot harvesting, I think we can kind of remedy that a bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the prime race to do ballot harvesting in, because you have a race where Republicans likely aren't going to turn out because they aren't informed of it. Now, I
Yeah.
think if we do turn out, which we're going to need to do, like if we don't turn out for this, the state of Wisconsin is done for.
Yeah, basically.
Like if this is a race that 100% we don't turn out for, we are beyond screwed. Now granted, I shouldn't be dooming at all, because really this result was expected. Like, we knew Protestasowicz, or however you say her name, was going to finish in first. Everybody expected that in the first round. This is a primary, something a lot of people forget. This is a primary election as well. It's a jungle primary. There was going to be cursed results, and even in the California governor race, in the jungle primary in June, Brian Dahl finished like third, or not third. He finished second, but he only got like 20% of the vote, and then on election night he got 40. So
Yeah, jungle primaries, they're never that
jungle
accurate.
primaries are never accurate. Like, never have they ever been accurate. Well, they can,
Especially nonpartisan ones like this one.
right. I mean, you get cursed results and everything. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. I have a good feeling about it. People are dooming. Personally, you have no especially this, like, you have no reason to doom. I mean, we won that special election in Pennsylvania by like 38 because of early voting. And I think if we can do that, that's Pennsylvania, which is supposedly a blue stronghold with Josh Shapiro. Then again, you can't really do anything because the state Senate's red. But I mean, in Wisconsin, where the R's have a super majority in the state legislature, this is the prime example to test ballot harvesting. And I think really, if we get a victory in this, which we normally don't in off-year elections, if we win this, that proves that whatever we did worked.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That proves whatever we did
It'd
worked.
be more of a morale booster as well if we could win this.
I think part of the reason Republicans, now again, Wisconsin, people are blaming the midterms. People like to say that, Republicans, it's it was Trump's fault. No. It wasn't Trump's fault. People blame him for the candidate quality. No, all of the candidates, truth is, when we were dooming about the primaries and the midterms, we were correct. Our initial instinct to say that they sucked were correct, because a lot of the candidates we nominated were garbage. Looking back on them.
Honestly,
Mastriano, as much as I like Mastriano as a guy, as a candidate, he was just beyond bad.
I think the bluest county he campaigned in was Bucks County.
Like, no, dude, all he did was campaign in Bucks County, and he lost it by like almost over 20, I think. Like, he got destroyed there. He lost Cumberland, which, like, how do you?
Should never happen.
You should never, like, the only time you lose Cumberland is if you are weak. Like whoever ran against Bob Casey in 2018. Like, that was when Barletta sucked. Now, do I think Barletta would have won the Senate race in Pennsylvania in 2022? Maybe. But in general, just the candidate quality we had was not good. Like, Minnesota, I initially liked our governor candidate, but again, he was the best in the primary field. And that says something. Because, actually, I think there was one person better than him, but the state convention screwed him over. But, because, Minnesota's going to Minnesota.
Yeah,
Wisconsin,
typical.
Wisconsin, honestly, like, I think Cleefish could have pulled it off. Now, looking back, like...
I don't know. Because Michael's problem was in the driftless. He did fine in the WoW counties.
I thought Michaels was going to do really well in the driftless. And
Yeah,
then
so did I.
Because, like, if you look at him, like, he strikes me as the type of guy who is... he looks like an anti-establishment guy. Like,
He ran a pretty populist campaign, in all honesty. He talked about, like, rural broadband and stuff like that.
Then again, the way he campaigned was, like, he kind of stayed in Milwaukee and didn't really go anywhere else.
Yeah.
Which
I think if he actually ran a good campaign, I think he would have won.
if he would have gotten the fundraising that he needed, like instead of maybe giving it to Murkowski, we could have given it to people like Michaels who desperately needed it, and people like Mastriano who also desperately needed it. Now, is that kind of the candidate's fault for not being able to raise money? Yeah. I mean, you as a Republican, especially in swing states, you need to raise money. You can get away with getting outspent in a deep red state. Like Pete Ricketts got outspent in Nebraska, I believe, in 2018, and Ricketts
but who
still
cares?
won. Now, granted, that's Nebraska. Like, you can get away with that in safe R states where you're going to hold no matter what. But in a swing state like Wisconsin, where you need every dollar you can get and every voter you can get, you need the money, and if you can't raise money, you might as well just say goodbye. Unless you're a really good campaigner like Trump, no shot. Now, I don't know about Daniel Kelly's fundraising. I don't know if he has a lot of money or not, but judging off his performance in the rurals, like, the amount of rural counties he won, I'm kind of excited to see how he does in April. Like, that's a long way. Like, in politics, a month and a half is quite a long way.
Definitely,
So,
yeah. If he just runs a good campaign, I think he can definitely win.
even
I'm
if
not
he-
writing the seat. I'm not writing the seat off yet.
honestly, like, I think Trump getting involved in this race would help him a lot. Now, granted, only in the driftless. Don't go anywhere else. Don't go anywhere else, because that would kind of energize Democrat turnout. I mean, Trump has his own little PAC. Maybe he could give Kelly some money. I don't know. Like, I don't think campaigning wise it'd be effective, but I think money wise it would be.
That's true.
Now, Protestasowicz. I mean, like, you look at the name physiology. Like, usually a way you can tell, in my opinion, a way you can tell if a candidate's going to win or not, you look at their name physiognomy. And you look at a name like Daniel Kelly. That just sounds like it would be a Supreme Court justice, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Not
Janet
Pretenzo with
Protestasowicz,
Protestasowicz, yeah.
Like, that just doesn't sound like it would be someone who serves in, like, you get like Daniel Kelly. It just rolls off the tongue better than you get compared to some random Polish last name. Like, no offense to Polish people, by the way, but the name physiognomy just not very good. I mean, you can apply that to Pennsylvania too. Like, Doug Mastriano as a governor, that just doesn't sound like the name of a governor.
No.
Josh Shapiro does sound like
That's
who would
good,
be a governor. That's all I have. Now, there were exceptions, like, Tim Michaels, I feel like could be a governor name, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah, Tony, they're both like, eh.
Well, I mean, Evers is especially crap, but we all knew that. I mean, this election, I think, does kind of determine the Wisconsin's future. Like, I mean, especially that we don't have the governor's office, or any statewide office. It would be one thing if we didn't have the governorship, but had like everything else, like attorney general and stuff. That'd be one thing. But the fact that we're in danger of losing the state Supreme Court with an R supermajority is going to screw Wisconsin over should a Republican win in 2026, which could happen, could not happen, it might. I mean, we've all seen what happens to Wisconsin governors when they go for a third term. It doesn't end well. It ends horribly.
I think Evers is going to retire, honestly.
Like, I mean,
I don't think he's going to risk it again.
No, I mean, you look at results. Like, for example, 2010, going back to 2010, Walker won. Hang on, let me look. Walker won by 6.8. 2012, he won by the same margin. 2014, he won by roughly the same margin. He won consistently. Actually, he won by 6. By
we'll ignore that.
Something. Then 2018 comes around and he loses. Like, and keep in mind, that's every time you run for a third term in Wisconsin, don't do it. There's a reason why Jim Doyle didn't do it in 2010, because he would have gotten trounced by Walker, even more so than Tom Barrett. But in general, we've seen a trend that if you run as a third term in Wisconsin as anything except for senator, you're done for.
True.
At the governor level, there's like a Secretary of State there that's been in office for like 1,000 years, but
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. In conclusion, do I think Kelly will win? Now, every time I make a prediction on something, the opposite of what I want to happen will happen. Most of the time, that's what I've noticed. So I'm going to predict that Janet Polish person's going to win, just for the sake of the effect. This is not an official prediction. At the moment, I'd say it's leaning Protestasowicz. but it could change.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely leaning Protestasiewicz, but I don't know. I think Kelly's doing. I think he'll do fine.
I mean, then again, we have a long campaign period. The closing weeks of March are gonna be crucial. The spring break, that's when a lot of schools get out, is the end of March. That's when they get out a lot of like high schools for spring break. I think those 2 weeks are gonna be crucial to Daniel Kelly leading up to the election, because if he doesn't,
he's got to win the youth vote.
No, I was just using that as a reference. Like,
okay.
that time frame is going to be crucial for Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
That time, like March 20th through like pretty much up until the election, is the do or die period. And I think if we see Kelly go out there and relentlessly campaign, raise money, you could project him the winner. But if he's going to continue kind of doing what he's been doing and just not really do much, uh-oh. But that's my take on it. I mean, if Republicans can get the turnout up by vote harvesting, yeah, no, definitely. We'll definitely have a shot at winning. I mean, we would have only lost this, I think, Actually, we would have lost it by like 7 or 8, if you combine all the vote totals. Which isn't bad.
We would have lost by 7.
Which, I mean,
it's a jungle primary, so like...
I mean, jungle primaries, as I said, in California, Brian Dahl was not supposed to get 40% of the vote in the general, but he did, after only getting 20% in the primary. So, again, it's a wild card. We'll have to wait and see. But in conclusion, Wisconsin, vote correctly this time, please.
For once.
I mean, you guys re-elected Ron Johnson on the same night you re-elected Evers, because that makes sense. So,
Truly a Wisconsin moment.
You did one thing correctly. Now do this correctly.
The question is, will they? Yeah, no, I tend to agree with you. I think that we're in a good spot. It just really depends on how the campaign goes. I don't know why people are dooming. I mean, I'm not saying we're gonna win this race, but I don't know. I don't think it's the end of the world. I think we're gonna.
Then again,
I think we can do fine. Plus, if we have, this will be a good way to test out mail-in voting and ballot harvesting for Republicans.
Right.
That's what I'm kind of looking at this as. I'm not really like super concerned about the results. Like, obviously, I care if we lose. That would suck. Wisconsin would be screwed. But I'm more concerned about just seeing how effective ballot harvesting is going to be and how the RNC handles, all that kind of stuff.
I mean, like, you look at when Daniel Kelly lost last time. People are going to say, "Oh, Kelly's unelectable because he lost last time." My guy. That
it was the same night as the Democrat primary.
No, I'm sitting here like my brother in Christ. That was on the same night as the 2020 Democrat presidential primary when Bernie didn't drop out. You really expected that to be close when all of the Democrats in the state were going to be turning out in droves? And then only for Kelly to only lose by like 7 or 8. Which was surprising. I mean, he put up a good fight for, I think when it was scheduled was kind of... Well, I can't really say this without sounding like a conspiracy theorist, so I'm not going to say exactly what I really think, why they scheduled it for that day, because they obviously...
We all know why that is.
We all know why that is, and the truth is it's because they care about democracy, and obviously there would be no foul play. So... But yeah, in conclusion, Republicans will probably win this. Not probably, but they could. They probably could win this. That's what I should have said. Will they win it? Don't know. It looks like they very well, at this current rate, they might. But then again, we said that about 2022 a lot. 2022, the early campaign period started off good for a lot of our candidates. Like, Michaels was leading big in Wisconsin for quite a while. Blake Masters was pretty close in the polling, which I'm not going to suggest anything happened there, because nothing did, of course. And we like to be on YouTube. So
True.
We also saw that in Nevada. Like, the Senate race was a surprise. I mean, Laxalt had been leading by, I think he was close to leading by double digits at one point.
Yeah, Laxalt was up huge in all the polls.
He only lost by 8,000 votes, which all I'm gonna say without getting too deep is that's a Nevada moment. But yeah, this Supreme Court race is crucial. If we don't win it, you can kiss any chance of Wisconsin being a red state in the future goodbye, because they will strike down every conservative thing that gets past the governor's office should we take it back. I mean, the state Supreme Courts are really underrated, because if you don't have the state Supreme Court, then your agenda won't be able to go through.
Yeah, exactly.
I Minnesota, we're seeing that. We saw that under the, our last ever Republican governor, Tim Pawlenty, where every time he tried to pass something, the DFL Supreme Court would just block it instantly. Almost, it could be anything, and they would just block it because the DFL knows what they're doing. While meanwhile, you get our national Supreme Court, which props to them for overturning Roe v. Wade, but like they sit there and they do what? Let all this other stuff slide, like the infrastructure bill, which was definitely unconstitutional if you read into what it did. But they let that slide. They let all these other things slide. We really need to fight back, and I think if we don't take this seat, Wisconsin is gone. Not officially, but it pretty much will be in the future.
If we lose, yeah.
If we lose, you can kiss Wisconsin. Any chance of it being an Iowa or an Ohio gone. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this topic. But
yeah, I think we'll go on to the final issue of the evening, which is. Wait a minute. All right, there we go. We have a third candidate for the 2024 Republican primary election. That is. Let's see. What's his name? Vivek Ramaswamy? Am I saying it right?
The name physiognomy is
yeah,
not
speaking
very
of name
good.
physiognomy.
When I talk about name physiognomy, this is what I mean. A name like Donald Trump definitely sounds like someone who that's good name. It's memorable.
That is perfect
it's,
presidential material. And
right,
then we have Vivek Ramaswamy,
or even someone like Joe Biden, which his name isn't like it's definitely like Joe Biden, easy to remember. Bernie Sanders, easy to remember. This. Come on now.
I don't even know if I'm saying it right.
Like at
Vivek
least Nikki Haley. At least Nikki Haley sounds like someone who maybe could be. Like at least that sounds like an actual politician.
Yeah.
This just sounds like some random dude who's running to troll. I think he's running to just be a troll. That's what he's gonna
be. He's gonna be our version of Andrew Yang. I think I was honestly hoping he'd run for Senate in Ohio in 2024 because he's from Cincinnati and he apparently talked about it a few times. But nope, he's running for president, even though he has no chance of winning. I'm not sure why he is, but for those of you who don't know, Vivek Ramaswamy is a healthcare and tech sector.
Whoa!
Almost said something else there. Entrepreneur. And he's a conservative commentator. He's fought against woke culture in the tech industry. He's been on Tucker Carlson a lot.
This dude looks like Dinesh D'Souza.
He looks
like Dinesh D'Souza if Pepsi made a copy of him.
Yeah.
He's a Diet Pepsi Dinesh D'Souza. That's what this guy is.
Yeah, true. He's socially decent on most issues. Immigration is really the only issue he's bad on. Because he is
figure.
Go figure. He's like, oh, immigration's okay. Legal good, illegal, and even then he's iffy on that. Taking on China, he's not too horrible on. I'm not really sure where he stands on foreign policy. He did a good job in the tech industry. I'll be honest, though. I thought he did fine. He was on Tucker. He's often on Tucker, so he's not bad. He's not going to go anywhere. He's not going to win, but
he's not. He has no shot in Ohio. Honestly, I do not Trump will blow him out of the water in Ohio.
Yeah.
Where's this guy? What part of Ohio is he from? I don't even think
Cincinnati.
he's from yeah, I'd like to see the margins on if he even makes it past. If he even makes it to the Ohio primary, I'd like to see the margins in Northeast Ohio to see what percentage of the vote he gets. I doubt he'll even crack 10 in Mahoning or Trumbull. I highly doubt it.
He's not even in the polling.
He's
not even included in any of the pollsters.
He just announced a day ago.
Well, yeah, true, but no one even thought he was gonna run.
Yeah. This is kind of like a Mike Huckabee moment where it's Mike Huckabee got in there and was just kind of a troll. I don't know, this guy, I think he's just trolling. This does help Trump. Any candidate throwing their hat in the ring, I think, except for DeSantis, helps Trump. Because the more candidates we get that are bad, the more vote splitting there will be from DeSantis. which means
Oh
that
yeah,
Trump,
definitely.
which like I think early on, if Trump can win Iowa and South Carolina convincingly, DeSantis has no
It's
shot.
done. Yeah.
If DeSantis can't even have a reasonable performance in South Carolina, which I believe South Carolina has like a winner-take-all trigger if you get a certain percent of the
They
vote.
do. Yeah.
I think it's if you get over like 60, you get all of it or something. I think because of that,
if Trump does that, then it's
like he
over.
did in 2016, where he just destroyed everybody in South Carolina. I think he could do it again. Do I think he will? Potentially. I mean, we're too far out to making any primary predictions yet. But all I can say is the more clown car candidates we get, the more Trump wins. Like the more Trump is definitely going to have a higher shot of winning the primary, because Nikki Haley is going to siphon votes away from like the never Trumpers who would have picked DeSantis. And then I mean, who knows? I mean, we might get some more candidates who are
I'm sure we'll get at
cars.
least a few more candidates.
The debates are going to be fun to watch.
I can't wait for the debates this summer. It's gonna be so epic.
The debates this summer and also next year, just before Super Tuesday, are going to be awesome. But that being said, this guy, people are wondering if he's a threat. I wouldn't say so. I would say this guy is just he's a perennial candidate. Is what
Yeah. Part of
He's
me
just
thinks
kinda
he
running
might
as a
do
joke.
something where, kind of like Rubio did in 2016, where he runs for president, gets a lot of name recognition, and then runs for Senate in Ohio.
I mean,
I could maybe see that.
Honestly, although
This guy is like supposed
Senate-
to be like a genius, though. I don't see how he could not realize he's gonna lose. I feel like
Wait,
he's playing like 8D chess here.
Then again, I feel like with the Senate, you need. Okay, here's my take on people who like. I think depending upon like how conservative you are on certain issues, that depends on what branch you should go for. If you're like an immigration hawk and a big like economy guy, run for Senate. Like if you're a big social and border guy, run for Senate, because we need immigration hawks in the Senate ASAP. But if you're like an election and COVID guy, like kind of like Mastriano or Michaels, run for governor. Like we need more. We need the COVID guys to be governors, and we need the more immigration hawks to be, to be in the Senate. Do I think this guy maybe could replace DeWine as governor? I mean, if he gets the name recognition, who knows? I mean, I don't know if he'll run for governor. I think he'd be a good pick though if he gets his name recognition up.
That's true. He'd be good on this woke culture stuff as governor, maybe in 2026.
Which is something that honestly people like. Again, people like to crap on DeWine, which he deserves to get crapped on sometimes for his
like right now. But
right now, I mean, other than right now and COVID, DeWine has been a good. Like if COVID never happened, DeWine would be considered a really good governor by people like Rep. Radio politics. I mean, I have my issues with him. Like he's had a lot of bad takes lately. But like a lot of his bad takes, like saying things like, "Oh, like Michigan's gone for like he said Michigan's probably gone." It's like I don't think so. Michigan's not gone. No way.
2024 maybe, but not long term though.
I mean, then again, I mean, everybody expected Michigan to go to Clinton by double digits, and Trump comes out of nowhere on election night and wins it. So, honestly, I think the more people bet against Trump, the better. Because Trump, when there's no expectations for him, is when he goes out there and dominates. When there's expectations for him is when he crumbles. When he crumbles is when people expect him to do really good, and he doesn't. Like, when you expect the Republicans to do well, they don't do well. But when you're sleeping on them is when they tend to upset. 2018, I remember, was supposed to be this massive blue wave. It was a blue wave, don't get me wrong, but it really wasn't as big as people thought it would be.
Thought it was, yeah.
Like,
Democrats managed to hold them off.
Dems only got 235 seats in the House, which, I mean, that's a decent amount, but they were supposed to get like 250. I remember, like, people were saying they would get like 250 some seats. Then people were saying it'd be 2006 all over again. Yeah, they flipped a ton of governor races, but most of those were incumbents not running for re-election. That was the perfect pickup opportunity for Dems. I disregard 2018. It didn't really mean anything. It still doesn't mean anything. It was just kind of an off. It was a typical off-year election with Republicans in power. That's what 2018 was.
Yeah, average.
It was a typical wave.
Election.
2022 was a wave year that Republicans had the most golden opportunity ever to take a huge majority in the House, take back the Senate, and win back a bunch of governorships. And they completely fumbled the ball and only flipped. Their only flip in any major state, I believe, was Nevada out of all the races. So Nevada governor, which congrats to Lombardo for being
We
the
love
only competent.
Lombardo, don't we, folks?
Thanks Lombardo for being the only competent governor candidate besides Carrie Lake. But
she lost.
Okay, we're not gonna go down that. We're not going down that path. All I gotta say is, you know, there was some monkey business going on. There were monkeys doing business in Maricopa County at the time.
And this is
Now,
true. The Maricopa
YouTube-
County Zoo, there was a lot of monkeys doing stuff down there. I don't Maricopa County Zoo, somewhere in Phoenix. I'm not sure where it is exactly, but somewhere in Maricopa County Zoo.
YouTube, if you're getting
a lot
concerned,
of shenanigans going on there.
Now, YouTube. What I mean by monkey business is monkeys dressed in suits talking about venture capitalism. Not what you may be thinking, because we don't question things on this channel. We don't do that.
No, we would never question anything. Questioning is for nerds who actually think. We just read headlines and talk about stuff.
Yeah, and we read fact checkers who don't have an agenda at all.
No, the fact checkers are carrying our society. That's just a fact.
True. But yeah, that being said, I guess I got too long, didn't read summary of this guy for president. It doesn't mean anything. He won't even make it to South Carolina.
I don't think he's gonna make it anywhere. I seriously think there's no way this guy's actually running for president. Like, does he really think he's gonna go anywhere?
It'll be like a Tom Steyer moment where he'll like run and then right away drop out.
Yeah.
We saw that last time where Steyer ran and just dropped out right away for the Dems. I think that's what this is. There's a lot of parallels. That being said, he will not win. If he does make it to the Ohio primary, he will get shellacked. So, like,
if he makes it to any primary, he'll get schmacked.
I don't think he'll win it. I don't think he'd win a single county in any state. Like, I think in Ohio, like, I think Trump would win, like, Mahoning and Trumbull, those counties, by, like, a ton. And he wouldn't even crack 10. Which, if you can't even crack 10 in any in any of your home county, like, home states counties, then you're done for. But yeah, that's my take.
That's our discussions for that's our like news headlines for the night. So we're gonna go to just some chat questions. You and I may just talk about some stuff. We'll see. It's 9:08 p.m. Eastern time on the East Coast, obviously. So it's 8:08 Central time, and 7 Mountain, and then 6 Pacific. Did I get that right?
I think so.
I'm so smart.
We're just gonna do time in. Yeah, you got it right. The time in California, which is Pacific, would be 6:08.
Perfect. I'm so smart. All right. I don't know how long we're gonna go. It depends if chat has any questions. We'll give them a couple minutes.
All right. So Old Line State Politics says Vivek for governor 2026 in Ohio. Buckeye, what do you think of that?
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I really just have to see who else is running. I mean, he seems good on the issue. The issues that would make a good governor, he seems good on. But
yeah,
at the same time, it's like I feel like we can do better. I'm gonna be honest.
He needs. I mean, to be fair though, like we kind of need an improvement over DeWine. But I mean, then again, I mean, we have people like Dave Yost or Yost. I don't know how to say his last name.
Dave Yost.
We have Yost, I think, who could be a good governor candidate.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I've talked about Yost before. I really think I don't think he's gonna run for anything. Bro has the least energy I've ever seen.
And I remember you told me that. I was gonna say like he doesn't. Really
I saw
have a
him
lot of
speak.
energy.
I saw him speak one time at an event, and he literally was like, I almost fell asleep. He had these big ass hearing aids, and like he couldn't hear anything when he was talking to people afterwards. He was like, huh? And like I was like, I like him and he's good on the issues, but I just don't think he could win a primary or like even like be that great of a governor.
I mean, now John Husted, that guy. I mean, he'd be a good.
He's kind of like just DeWine, but
electability, he'd be good.
Yeah.
Issues, I don't really know. I mean, honestly,
I honestly don't know a whole lot about Husted. He's basically just DeWine's like.
I mean, Husted,
pet,
from what I've seen, the only thing with him that would be questionable is his like he apparently has had a lot of dealings with like big companies before. During when Ted Strickland was governor, so I think that could definitely hurt him. That being said, I think he'd win anyways because, well, it's Ohio and it's It's not. This isn't the Ohio of 2018 anymore. This is 2023 Ohio, and will. But yeah, I mean, as I said, Ohio in 2026, I think, is definitely out of reach for the Dems. If they couldn't win with their best candidate for Senate in 2022 in a race where Vance looked vulnerable, you're not going to win anything. Now, do I think Yost? The reason Yost, I think, won in 2022 is because of DeWine. I think DeWine's coattails carried him over.
DeWine carried everyone across. For the state level.
DeWine at the federal, Vance and DeWine are the entire reason that Yost won. I think.
By the margin he did, yeah.
I think if he was in any other state except for a safe red state, he probably would have gotten smoked.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we have a question from Tobago Turtle. Do you think Mississippi can flip this year? It's possible. I don't know.
I mean, maybe, but
I like Brandon Presley, I'm gonna be honest, but I don't know. I don't think it's that. I'm really not that concerned with what happens there. I don't like Tate Reeves at all, but you know, it's Mississippi. I mean, we'll see what happens, but
yeah, Tate Reeves, dude, like he had so much potential when he was elected in 2019, and he fumbled the ball so hard.
The flag, the statues, the corruption scandals.
Oh, like he wasn't even that bad like in 2019. Like he had a good campaign.
Yeah.
But then again, if you're also only winning by 5 in a Trump plus 18 state, you have problems.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It'd be one thing if he was running in like Ohio, you know, in an off-year race at the time, which was still seen as a competitive state. That'd be one thing. But he's running in Mississippi.
Yes.
Which is
no excuse to lose. And he's losing in polls now against Brandon Presley or whoever.
I mean, like, you know, granted, the Mississippi Democrat Party is just cursed because it's, I mean, the Mississippi Dems and the Mississippi Republicans are kind of identical, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. A lot of conservative Dems.
Then again, it is also the South, and I think they kind of have to be conservative to win over the Delta vote. Like, the Delta area
is still very conservative.
The Delta area votes blue, but it's not like the urban blue that we see in, like, LA or Minneapolis. It's like the weird Iron Range blue is what it is.
Yeah.
Where it's like you talk to them and they don't like gay marriage, they don't like anything the Dems are pushing, but they vote Dem because of the recognition, the name. So, do I think it'll flip? It depends on who we nominate. If Reeves is nominated, the race is up in the air. If we nominate somebody who's not Reeves, it depends on who it is. I don't really know anybody on the GOP side who would win. I mean, there really is nobody who could take out Reeves at the moment, I don't think.
Yeah.
Hardigree, maybe. David Hardigree, I think, is the only guy who could, but I've heard bad things about Hardigree, so I don't know. Mississippi, I mean, like, who even cares? It's Mississippi. Like, not a single person gives a crap about Mississippi anyways.
True.
Louisiana's the one we care about, because
Yeah.
it's going to flip red, so...
What are your thoughts of Frank LaRose potentially running for Senate? Here's a solid conservative guy who can win. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Frank LaRose personally. I'd support him over Matt Dolan if that's the only two that we end up having. But I don't know. I've never been a fan of Frank LaRose. On a lot of issues, he's pretty mid. When he was in the state legislature, before he ran for the statewide office, I'm drawing a blank. Brain fart. He's Secretary of State, right?
I think
Am I just dumb or like?
I don't know. I don't really.
All right. Well, before he was Secretary of State, we'll just say that he was in the state legislature, and the Ohio Right to Life endorsed his primary challenger both times. He was up for both when he first ran, and then when he ran for re-election, they endorsed his challenger because he was really bad on abortion. He basically just caved on the issue once he got in the state house. During COVID, he basically was lockstep with DeWine. He moved all the primaries back. He shielded for mail-in voting. And then only after Trump won Ohio by 8 did he say, oh, look how well we run our elections. So really, I mean, he's not like the worst, but I think he's kind of just a squish. Like, he's a snake in the garden. He's just kind of gotten lucky with what's happened to him. But so we'll see. A lot of
all
people
of his
like him, though.
all of his elections have been like the perfect environment for him to win.
Yeah. And then even
Like,
like the whole thing he's known for is, oh, he's so good on election integrity. I mean, he was shilling for mail-in voting and COVID lockdowns and all that stuff that forced people to vote by mail. And he said, oh, it's completely safe. He supported mail-in voting, supported ballot harvesting in Ohio, and then Trump won Ohio. And then he's like, oh, actually, we never supported that. We've cleared off the voter rolls. We're against all that stuff. And then it was only after the political winds changed and he was in a good environment because Trump won Ohio that, that he became kind of seemed good on the issue.
right,
Like
and then
if Trump lost Ohio,
2022
he would be the same as like Brad Raffensperger, I think.
Yeah, and then 2022 rolls around, and then, DeWine carries him over the edge.
Yeah.
So, that being said, I mean, I don't really know if I'd support him. Like, I mean, the Ohio Senate field is going to be the most awful. Like, if nobody good jumps in the race for Senate in 2024, we are so screwed in Ohio.
Yeah, exactly.
Matt, if your front runner is Matt Dolan,
Or
take
Frank
out
LaRose.
to take out an entrenched Democratic incumbent who has proven that he can win as political winds change, crap, we're screwed.
Yeah, true. So we'll see what happens, but
I mean, Warren Davidson,
he's the best we have. Yeah.
Davidson, I think, is our best shot, but even then, do I think he'll win the primary? He needs name recognition. Warren Davidson is a name that definitely sounds like he could be a senator.
If Trump endorses him, I think he's set.
Matt, I don't know. I mean, Davidson has good name physiognomy. So does Dolan.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what I think. Like, the Ohio Senate field is screwed if Davidson declines, we're done for. If Davidson declines and LaRose declares, shoot.
Yeah, it's over.
So let's
see.
Will Republicans have a chance at winning 2 Senate seats if Casey retires and Fetterman resigns? If I could see us flipping the one with Fetterman, but the one with Casey, I don't think Casey's going to retire. Casey's going to go for another term.
Yeah, if Casey retires, then maybe. But if he runs for re-election, then there's no way.
I mean, Pennsylvania is... I don't know what to say. Like, that state is... The voters of Pennsylvania are... As Ron Johnson put it, they are beyond me. So true. We love Ron Johnson.
Definitely. Absolute Chad.
He's him and Vance are like the best Rust Belt senators. So...
Yeah, true. Should we allow first-generation immigrants to vote? I mean, no. Like...
They're not naturalized within our society. They haven't lived here their whole lives. Like, I mean, I'm one of those people, like... We're one of the only countries that allows first-gen immigrants to vote.
Yeah, most countries don't do that.
Like, you look at countries like Japan, they don't allow you to vote as a first-gen immigrant. They'll allow your kids to vote because they've lived there your whole life. And then you look at the integrity of their election results, and you don't see any meddling there. Which I'm not saying we have meddling, YouTube. We don't, obviously.
You better watch your mouth, young man.
Watch your mouth, young man. Anyways. Domestic violence.
YouTube to get very angry.
No, as I said, previously, many times in the stream, we have no issues.
No, we completely trust our elections.
But as I said, first-gen immigrants, no. I mean, why are they being imported at such high rates?
It's quite a mystery. I wonder why.
Now I'm not gonna go down the one theory that suggests replacement. I'm not gonna go down there. That's
just a theory, guys.
That's very hot.
No
water.
evidence, completely disavowed. Just a theory.
I'm not going down that. I'm not opening up that can of worms, and I'm definitely not opening up the can of worms that says they're importing voters. So, not sure. But
I feel like
in
the
conclusion,
former is worse.
We should not allow them to vote. Heck no.
True. All right.
Would Dolan win against Sherrod Brown? Probably if Trump endorses him.
Yeah, if Trump endorses him and he runs at least like a half-decent campaign, then yeah, but I just don't want him to be my senator.
Ooh, another question from Nevada Man just now. Do you think Reynolds endorsed Haley because Haley promised Reynolds a VP slot? Okay, Kim Reynolds endorsing Nikki Haley was that came out of left field.
Yeah, I did not expect that. I thought Kim Reynolds would be a good Trump VP. or someone that he was considering.
I was
Not that I
propping
would
her
have
up as
liked
like
her.
someone that Trump could have picked as VP because
Yeah, same.
she's electorally viable. I don't really know what to say to that. Like that's
Yeah, I was
just
stunned when I heard that.
when I saw that, I'm like, I thought that was like a joke. Like I thought people were joking. I didn't think that was real.
I'm not sure why. I feel like that's I don't like. Yeah, unless she like got like a VP spot or something, I really don't see any strategic benefit to doing that.
I don't really know because it's like, especially since she's in Iowa, where it's a Trump state. Like,
Yeah,
I'd understand if this was like,
if
If
she was
this
in
was
like
like
Nebraska.
if this was like Oregon or like Virginia, I could see why she would do that. But this is Iowa. This is a state that loves Trump. Why would you do that? And I did notice that there were some approval polls that showed her approval dipped after she did that, which is kind of funny. But who knows? I don't really know. Do I think there was some weird things going on there? Yes. I don't think she'd get a VP slot.
Haley Reynolds, 2024.
All female cast, I think would hurt
All
electorally.
female cast.
And an all female election, an all female campaign, I feel like would kind of hurt.
If we have an all female campaign, I'm voting Libertarian, Green, whoever has a dude on their ballot.
What if it's Biden?
I would rather
versus-
vote for a guy from the Green Party than a woman from the Republicans.
I mean, hey, Jesse Ventura might run as a Green Party guy again.
complete and total endorsement if it's 2 women on the top ticket.
Buckeye moment. Now, granted, if it's like Carrie Lake and someone
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
like
If it's like,
if it-
I'd support Carrie Lake.
if
I'm
it's
joking,
like
of
if it's
course,
like a
but-
firebrand and someone half decent, yeah, I'd support it. But if it's like two complete numbnuts, no.
My mom made me get rid of my Sigma grind set. Oh, that's not good.
That's racist.
So sad. Dick Cheney, 2024 to own the libs.
George W. Bush 2024, guys. We need to own those
He's won
isolationist
twice.
Dems.
He's electorally viable. He's won twice.
I mean, we need to disregard the fact that was a completely different time in American history, where he had like a really high approval rating and still barely won. He had like a 60% approval in 2004 and barely won.
Truly a Bush moment.
Guy had, I think, at his height, he had like a 91% approval in post 9/11, and the dude still couldn't win. He still was able to barely win. Like, unreal.
Yeah.
Jorge.
Come on, George.
Come on, Jorge de Bush.
Who do you guys think would be a good VP choices for Trump or DeSantis? For Trump, if Carrie Lake won in Arizona, she'd be perfect for the VP, but she lost, so I don't
as a
really
VP,
know why.
you need someone who's kind of opposite of you. I mean, that's kind of how it goes. As a VP, you need someone who's a
Yeah.
lot more... Like, if you're like a rhino, you need a right-wing populist VP. And if
Yeah.
you're a right-wing populist, you kind of need, like, someone who's a little squishy.
Yeah.
Appeal, like, just guys kind of appeal. Like, in 2008, I think arguably the reason why McCain didn't get blown out even more than he did was because of Palin.
Oh yeah,
I think
definitely.
Palin is the entire reason he even, I think, won Missouri and Montana. I think if he chose somebody else, Missouri and Montana would have gone blue, 100%.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know. I've heard Stefanik being floated around. I think that's probably what it's going to end up being. Because, like you said, you need someone who's opposite.
I don't
So-
honestly. I mean, I think he.
I don't know why
again,
Trump likes her, but for whatever
I
reason.
don't know, man. I mean, Glenn Youngkin's looking like someone who we should pick. Like, I mean, he can
Youngkin
only
wouldn't
run.
be bad.
Youngkin, I mean, he's honestly, I think a Trump Youngkin ticket would be unstoppable because Youngkin's able to win in a Democrat. I know I sound like an electabro, but I'm not shilling for Youngkin. And again, he's a lot more based behind doors from what I've heard, like behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Than he. I mean,
He
'cause
can't
he's
do
in
a whole lot
Virginia.
though, because he's in Virginia and he doesn't have the state senate.
Then
I'm
again,
sure if
I
he
mean,
wins
he's-
the state senate this year, then he'll be a lot better next year.
I think they probably will win the state senate at this current rate.
I think
but-
very narrowly, but yeah, like 51, 52.
Good VP choices for DeSantis. I don't really know. Like, people are saying Trump is seriously floating around MTG as their running mate, and if he does that, that is literal political suicide. If he
Yeah.
does that,
The amount of independents who would just say nope and not vote for him, that's
Oh my God! Like I mean, like when you were playing the campaign trail, that it is going.
That's
It's
what, that's what
going.
would happen in real life. Yeah,
That's what's going to
we would
happen.
lose
Don't do
every
that.
state except for North Dakota, West Virginia, and Idaho.
I mean, like, yeah, no. I mean, if he picks DeSantis' running mates, I don't know. Like DeSantis would need to pick someone who's right wing, but like, I feel like DeSantis would pick someone like Ron Johnson. I could see him doing that.
DeSantis Johnson, I could see that.
Do I think I mean, he could do that. I mean, Johnson, I think, said he probably isn't good. Then again, Johnson said in 2016 he wouldn't run in 2022, and then he ran in 2022 because he's a troll. He ran to troll the libs, so... I don't know. It's just... I mean, we're too far
DeSantis, it'll
out.
be interesting to see who he may pick.
I mean, DeSantis, do I think he'll be the nominee? I mean, look at the primary polling as of late. I mean... Trump has taken back his pretty big lead. Like, ever since Haley entered the race, he's taken back his lead. So, who knows?
Yeah, so we'll see. Any more questions? Anything else we can discuss?
Why is Hogan becoming a big Trumper, says Nevada.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know.
I don't think he is. He's not.
Yeah.
Hogan is literally, like, attacking Trump vehemently.
He's talked like a little bit about how he like would support Trump over DeSantis, which I'm not sure why, but
Which I think he's doing that just to hurt Trump's image because he knows that he knows he's harmful
Oh, that's
to the
true,
right-wing
yeah.
populist movement.
I really haven't thought about like Hogan at all. I'm gonna be honest. I really could care less what he says.
Larry Hogan, I mean, physiognomy for Larry Hogan, like his actual, not just his name, but his actual physiognomy, he looks like a child toucher. So
Bro.
he does.
Let's move on.
He does.
Will Paul Ryan
Yes,
endorse
he
Haley?
will.
Yeah. Hogan's a
He-
loser. So true. Common old line W. Opinions on MAGA communism. I personally, I don't like communism. I'm against, but MAGA communism. If you actually look at like the platform they talk about, it's actually not bad. It's really good actually. So
It's
I wouldn't
basically.
I'm
I'm not gonna say what it is.
I
but-
wouldn't call myself a MAGA communist because I hate the term communist. I think it's kind of like a terminally online LARP. But the ideas behind it, I support pretty much all of them. So, I mean, it's basically just social conservatism, fiscal populism to leftism.
I mean, me being Douglas MacArthur, I should disavow anything with the word communism in it. So.
Yeah, that's why I don't like to call myself that. It's so terminally online, and it's like whatever. But
I mean the word communist itself, like I mean it gets.
I couldn't call myself anything.
We need
with
to
that
start
in the
bringing
name.
it back as an insult because I remember
Exactly.
in the 50s, my grandparents would tell me they used to like call kids they didn't like at school communists. Like it used to be like a legit insult. It used to be an insult, and now you call people like you're a commie, and then the people are like, oh thank you, I am a commie, and it's like, oh my god, our society has degraded.
Well, we
this
gotta
far
bring
that-
back the Red Scare. Joseph McCarthy.
Dude, Joe McCarthy, bro, like
He was
Joe
a Chad.
McCarthy-
We have to like read it in like school. In my school at least, we had to learn a little bit about the Red Scare or whatever. And like the teacher was like, he was such a bad guy. He blamed people for no reason. And I was like, based? Like
Dude,
anyone who's like, he was like, these people had friends that were. These people didn't do anything wrong themselves, but they had friends that were communists.
They were
And I was
communists.
like, based.
They were related to
Yeah,
commies. Though.
exactly.
We don't want that in that. Okay.
It's a slippery slope.
Unironically, I think we need if Ron Johnson should become the next Joe McCarthy. Ron Johnson,
That would be so
he's
based.
he's from Wisconsin. I think if he should become the next Joe McCarthy and just go all out
Honestly,
instead of calling people commies, we should call them the PEDO word because that's what a lot of them are.
Instead of the Red Scare, it'll be the
Underage scare.
underage scare.
The underage scare. But yeah, no, like Joe McCarthy, if he were to come back today and see what's happened to his country, he would have a heart attack. I mean,
Yeah.
like he
was right about
seriously,
everything. He warned us.
Literally, like I remember last year we learned about him in school in history class, and the teacher was like, McCarthy wasn't a good dude. Like, imagine if you went to this school and they would constantly put you through litmus tests to make sure you weren't related to our rival school. And I'm like, okay, number one, based. Number one,
Yeah.
based. Number two, What's wrong with that? Like, you gotta weed out the traitors, you know? Like,
Yeah, I've yet to see the issue with anything McCarthy did. Like genuinely. Like I'm not even
honestly,
trolling.
every
What did he do that was bad?
everything McCarthy did. I don't like. I would shill for Joe McCarthy.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
He's our last line of defense.
he was, and all of his fighting was for nothing apparently.
Yeah. Very sad.
Man put his life.
Man we needed but didn't deserve.
The man, like the hero we didn't want, the hero we needed. The man put his life on the line. He risked assassination. The guy literally was like almost assassinated a bunch of times, just for the country. Immediately after he left, to go to turn into a bunch of gay commies. So
true. Very sad.
Well, why do you think Arizona has a weird obsession with Barry Goldwater? I don't think a single person in Arizona cares about Barry Goldwater anymore.
Yeah, honestly.
Unless they're like a retired boomer, I don't really think they know who
I think your average Arizona voter doesn't even know who Barry Goldwater is. The online people do, like Sunbelt Politics on Twitter. North Star, you have to get on Twitter. It's so fun. You can join our group chats and troll with us.
No. The thing you have to remember, I'm like a boomer when it comes to this internet stuff.
It's okay.
I mean, like, that's kind of like my persona. I mean, like, if you look into like my persona as a whole, like, I'm kind of like I'm like a teenage boomer, because it's like, let's see here, I like trucks, I like guns, I like things that are based, and I don't really care for this new TikTok garbage.
I don't use TikTok either. I literally use Twitter to troll like lefties on just like online and like talk to people in group chats. That's all I use it for.
I don't use it. Legit, like it's cancerous. Everything I've seen on there, it just, even though Mr. Musk bought it and supposedly made it better,
He did make it better. It's so much better.
I mean, he did, but from what it sounds like he did, but he didn't unban Vince Dow, and that makes me mad because Vince Dow needs to be unbanned right now.
That's true.
So does John Doyle.
He unbanned John Doyle.
Oh, I didn't. Oh,
Doyle's been unbanned for like 2 months.
Oh, I watched the interview last night too. How did I forget?
Bruh.
I finally watched it. I finally got the time to watch it.
Doyle's gonna have a video coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, he had the one at the Women's March.
I know he has one that he recorded like a few days ago. It'll be out in a few weeks. He posted about it on Twitter. He went to a historically black college and talked about crime statistics, apparently.
Oh my god!
And he got kicked out, basically. He posted about it on Twitter and his Instagram. He's like, me and the boys pulling up to the historically black college with FBI crime statistics.
Oh my god! That's a Doyle moment if I've ever seen one.
It was so funny.
What the heck, bro? That is the most John Doyle thing I've ever heard. Like, unreal. Crazy.
Yeah.
I
was on Twitter but got off after the midterms. It's a fun time. It can get toxic. Oh yeah, definitely. I don't use it that often.
There are so many people there who have god-awful electoral takes.
True.
They're over, like, they were over here saying things like, Ron Johnson is electorally horrible. And I'm like, the guy defeated an entrenched Democrat incumbent twice in a row! He defeated an incumbent in 2010 who was entrenched and had an infinite amount of money. Johnson had, like, absolutely no money, no name recognition, nobody even knew who he was, and he won by a lot. He won by, like, 4. And in 2016, he was trailing in every poll, didn't lead in a single one, and then he goes out there and outperforms Trump. And then in 2022, when he was down by, like, 5 to Mandela Barnes, he wins. Now, granted, those polls at the end of August for Barnes were kind of cursed because I think we could have seen, legit at that point in time, if the election was held in August, we could have seen a Tim Michaels governorship, but a Mandela Barnes Senate. We could have seen that. And that is not something I want to think about. I don't want to think about Mandela Barnes as a senator because he would be John Fetterman if John Fetterman was competent at talking to people. And we all know we need a Rufus Vince. Yes, so
definitely.
True.
How do you know who Rufus is?
I barely know who it is, but it's like a meme.
Oh yeah, it's a guy on Twitter. He's an electabro.
I don't really know much about him, but
if you were on Twitter, you would know.
Well, I don't care. See, it just has extra things to your life that you don't need to know.
But it's funny. It's fun.
But why is it fun?
I don't know. I think it's fun.
Well, I mean, you're the type of I feel like you're the type of person to say that the Iron Ranger is gonna flip red in 2022, weren't you? Yeah,
that wasn't, no, that wasn't me.
That was you? No,
did I say that?
No, that was me.
Oh.
I'm deflecting what I did onto you.
Oh, okay. I was a little confused.
How I predicted that Carlton and Lake would vote red at the governorship, and they didn't. Carlton almost did. Carlton almost did, but
Bold Line has a good point. Let's watch Wyatt Tomlin's hit new video.
Oh Lord.
Is it
the one? Is it the one where he was like dancing in his front yard? Is it that one?
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
think,
God.
unless there's a different one.
Oh,
Wait, which one
God.
is it?
It
Yeah,
was
that's
the
the one where he's in his front yard.
Oh my God.
This is some banger music too.
Dude. The amount of jokes I could be making right now.
Mom, my mom, go play with the neighbor's kid. The neighbor's kid.
Bro thinks he's pro America with that shirt on.
Look at that American peace sign. That's disgusting.
I would support that if he was right wing, you know, that'd be based, but is he wearing pajama pants outside?
It looks like it, yeah. That is the worst dressed person I've ever seen. Or if you're gonna go outside, at least and embarrass yourself, at least dress half decently.
Just put some normal pants on or something, or shorts, and you're fine.
Is he gonna sing?
No, he's just lip syncing. What is he even doing, bro? Looks like he's having a seizure. Is this what John Fetterman did growing up in Connecticut?
Oh, look at the air guitar. Let's go.
I unironically like.
Look at the editing. Look at the special effects. Wow. The next video, epic Roman battle music.
The greatest smell in the NFL.
So true. All right, let's see.
Oh my God.
Oh, this isn't it. We gotta
hold
go
up,
back.
Hold up. Hold up.
What?
Hang on. I'm gonna find that because I have returned YouTube dislike the plugin. Let me find it.
Look at the comments.
Hang on, I am not looking at them. I'm trying to pull up the video. Hang on.
Oh,
Very inspiring. Hold up. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and dislike it because apparently it had no dislikes. Because I have returned YouTube dislike
read the 3 comments.
Why did Hitler comment?
Adolf Hitler fan. I have died of cringe.
The next Michael Jackson.
I think he hid my comment because I can't see it unless I'm on my account.
Hold up, let me
it says
see.
only 2.
Newest first. And then we click refresh. Yeah, it's not there.
Bro, I have more subscribers than Tim Ryan. That's pathetic.
Hold up, does Tim Walls have a YouTube channel? He does. Oh, he does. Oh, I'm only like 20-some subscribers away from overtaking Tim Walls.
So Wyatt Tomlin could run.
I'm 14 subscribers away from tying Tim Walls on YouTube, guys. We need to overtake Walls in subscriber count because that means something. I will. You know, I said I was running for governor in 2022. I still have done that. You know, I won. I won every county in Minnesota, and that's a fact.
Yeah, true. You had the mules.
Hey, you mean the donkey? God dang it, YouTube's gonna kill us.
The
now.
donkeys. You own a donkey, you silly
the 2000. I had the 2000 donkeys helping me. You know.
Exactly. Yeah, they helped you get around like the state because you don't.
Yeah, I rode around them on I-35 northbound, going from Minneapolis to Duluth to campaign, and I only campaigned on the Iron Range.
You were like Jesus when he walked into the city at the end.
No, I am the reincarnation of Jesus because I walked across Lake Superior. So
you rode in on a mule.
I rode in on a mule and walked across Lake Superior, and that's a fact. You fact checkers can't disprove that. I did that.
Can I see a video of it? Can you send it to me?
Okay, I mean, sure.
I just want to see it. That sounds cool. Lake Erie's never cold enough and like frozen enough to walk on. It's so sad.
Lake Superior is pretty. Not this year. Normally it's pretty frozen over, but
Well,
this
yeah,
year it's
not
not.
recently. In Lake Erie.
Shoot, I can't. Hang on. Where is it? I can't. Oh no.
I know
Oh,
one's
no.
talking in chat. We're dipping in viewers. Let's end the stream here, and then we can keep talking if we want. So thanks for watching this video, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed. We had some great content, some great discussions, and we'll see you all for the next episode of this world famous podcast. Goodbye. Have a great night.